Welcome into the Orange Media Network football recap after the Oregon State overtime thrilling win, 47-44 over California. It's first Oregon State Pac-12 win in 13 tries. First Pac-12 win under Gary Anderson. I'm Josh Worden, joined by Brian Rathbone and Brenden Slaughter. Brian, your thoughts on this crazy Oregon State win over California?
Well, for the first thing, Oregon State, really just kind of executed their game plan going in. Gary Anderson was very candid this week about, hey, we're going to try and do exactly what Utah did last week, and we're going to try to keep the ball away from Davis Webb and that Cal offense. And they racked up a school record for rushing yards in a Pac-12 game with over 400 yards rushing. It was just impressive. Ryan Nall averaged something crazy like 16 yards or over 10 yards a carry. Busted a 80-yard touchdown. I mean, he just did it all. I mean, the offensive line was opening holes and everything. It was just really good to see that Oregon State finally was able to put together an entire game plan for more than 4 quarters. They went a little extra time, a little extra today.
Needed more than 60 minutes. Brennan, your thoughts on the win?
For me, it comes down to the defense. And, the defense, the back end, absolutely, ravaged by injuries, depth, players not arriving on time, not being academically qualifying. Kendall Hill probably played his best game as a Beaver tonight, too. A guy, that wasn't even supposed to play corner. I mean, got, burned last year on occasions by Cal. He played well. Beavers were flying all over the field. I mean, you could see the hits were there. Chappelle obviously almost got the target penalty, but did not. And granted, there's still some holes. Kalfani Muhammad and Vic and Wary and even Trey Watson kind of ran roughshod over that Beaver defense. But Oregon State's defense stepped up when they had to, and that is the first time under Gary Anderson, even going back to Mike Riley, even in some thoughts, when Oregon State's defense actually stepped up when they had to get a stop, and they did. So it's a moment where you say, this is one of those times, and you look, this could be something that the Beavers look back on and build off of, because it's not every day you get a chance to beat a Pac-12 team, and this isn't a bad Cal team. It's not a bad Cal. They beat a ranked Utah team. It's not like Cal's bad. So I think there's a lot of positives to draw for from Oregon State.
It's also the second week this season that both Oregon State has won and Oregon has lost in the same week. It's a huge win for Oregon State, just for the program in general. Treston Decoud got a little choked up in the post-game press conference. Caleb Salo talked about the goosebumps that he got just for seeing Corvallis riled up after this win. So 47-44 was the final in overtime. Oregon State winning it on a 16-yard game-winning scamper by Daryl Garrettson. And they'll face Utah at 1 p.m. next week. You can catch the Orange Media Network football preview that Saturday, as well as the entire play-by-play on kbvr.com/listen. For Brian Rathbone and Brenden Slaughter, I'm Josh Worden. Thanks for watching the Orange Media Network football recap from Reser Stadium.